welcome to Christmas in July with two of your favorite co-hosts. I am Martina, and this is
Seth.
Hello. I don't know why I start off in a British accent. I do love a British accent. I don't know if the British would consider that how they sound, but I don't know. But yes, welcome back, our lovely listeners and viewers. It's great if you're both. That really helps us out. We love you. So we wanted to come on today, with perspectives. We keep it real and talk about a lot of serious stuff. But we're also two fun people. We're very silly and we like to have fun, and we're very funny people. So you know what? And we're also two people who obviously have a lot in common, which is why we have a whole podcast together. And so we decided to do what do we want to do something fun? What do we want to talk about? Christmas. And we decided what better time, since we're filming in this, this will air in July, and we're also filming in July, but it will air in July as well. What better time? We're about 6 months out from the Christmas holidays. We both love the holidays. It's just like our favorite time of the year. The weather is our favorite. You know us. We don't like summer. It is our enemy. So at this half point, we are halfway through summer at this point. And it's usually around this time that you start to see, or maybe, a little bit later in July, I will say, because we're about mid-July right now. Later in July, although some places already have it out, according to Lisette, holiday gifts. I said gifts, but I'm sure they do holiday gifts as well. But holiday decorations and autumn and fall display, which is another favorite of ours as well. And so we were like, what better time to talk about Christmas and why we love it so much and what makes it so great. And as you can see, Lisette has, it looks like Rudolph glasses.
The
little dot, and it's brown. So I was like, I think it's Rudolph, right? Isn't it so precious? Like, so I'm going to have a pair as well. So I'm contributing. I have my Sleigh all day sweatshirt. And that's basically it.
Trees.
Yeah, she has trees across her upper part of her little body. I have a face across the upper part of my body. But you can see, we're silly, we're having fun. And we just really what we wanted to bring to y'all for this episode today. And so let's just jump in, let's just we love Christmas. Why do we love
Christmas? We love the fall weather. I know not everybody's a fan of winter weather. I understand it, but there's something about just nice cold day. The snow may be falling or it's not falling. It's just below zero out here in Chicago sometimes. But there's just something about just being cozy at home under a blanket in your bed, having a nice cup of cocoa.
Yes.
And just watching whatever movies, if you know me, I love Christmas movies. I know some people got issues with Hallmark, take it up with Hallmark. But there's just something about those Christmas movies, and just now there's so many more networks that have Christmas movies and just Christmas themed things. I know Netflix does things. Lifetime also has there's all these other networks.
They're all trying. Yeah, they're all trying.
Prime, I think, also dipped its toe into some Christmas. It's just something about it. And then I know Martina doesn't like it, but I love Christmas in July because most networks end up having the Christmas movies, and they're all repeats. I've seen these movies before. I actually even own some of them.
Don't you own some of these movies?
Because sometimes in mid-May, I just want to watch a Christmas movie. When life has you down and depressed, and you're just I just need some happiness. Pop up one of these Christmas movies and just watch it and be happy.
It does the job. I agree.
It just does. It just just brightens up your day. And then the one thing I love about fall is just the change in the weather, when that weather just starts getting cooler, and then the leaves start changing colors, and you start seeing the orange, that burnt orange, whatever it's called. One of my favorite colors. I love finding clothes in that color.
I love
because that. It's that nice. Oh my gosh, I'm already like envisioning my outfits for.
I already say like, let's say like. I mean, I'm hyped up, but I think you just hyped yourself. You just hyped
myself. I was like, I can't wait
way more. But the set mixed up. Not yes. The reason I can't do the Christmas in July normally or watch it on television is because the weather's hot. Now for her, it don't make any difference. But for me, it's just like the weather's hot, and even though I grew up in Mississippi, and we have warm holidays on records that have broken records down there. But still, I always grew up associating Christmas with cold weather. So for me to have to be here in July, like right now, I don't think I could watch one of those Hallmark movies. Now come November, December, it don't matter what the top. I mean, it's always same topic. Small town.
You know how it's going to start, and you know how it's going to end.
You know how it is. Small town girl who made it to the big city, got to go back home and work at the Christmas tree farm, and the boy she went to high school with. You know, it's the same thing. Same thing, and it don't matter. I can leave that on all day and doing that.
Yes,
because I just love that time of year. But yeah, so I'm generally not watching Christmas movies in July. Although right now, seeing your glasses, the Rudolph glasses, I want to watch Rudolph. Rudolph is like my favorite holiday movie. I love Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now you got me really, I think I might have to watch that.
That is, I mean, there are some things that you want to, like, I know like Rudolph is one of the things that I love. I look forward to seeing it. Elf, when I think outside of like my Hallmark romantic movies, like Elf is another one. Just that's also another one I'll just pop on just to have a laugh.
Elf is hilarious. That is probably my mom and I's, if not favorite holiday movie. It's a top one for us, and we will watch it multiple times throughout the holiday season. We can't get enough of it.
Home Alone 1 and 2 is becomes played in our home. For some reason, I prefer 2 over 1.
I could see that, and I think I do like both, because I do like the fact that 2 takes place in New York, New York in the city, and there's something about big cities in the holiday time that are just gorgeous. So, New York's lit up, Chicago's lit up. I'm pretty sure if you live wherever you are, Dallas, Philly, wherever, LA, it's just lit up, and so I do like Home Alone 2 from that aspect. One, I don't know, one is just, I always end up being my favorite. But I get it. It's another one. And it's also, that's my brother's favorite one. He loves the Home Alones 1 and 2. That's like his holiday movie. Yes.
Another movie. Trying to think of some other non-like romance.
It's a Wonderful Life. Somehow, even though it has like a small portion of it is Christmas, it somehow becomes a Christmas.
It's become a very
Christmassy movie. Because
it always comes out on TV.
Yeah.
And I always watch it. If I happen to be scrolling and I find it, I'm stopping and watching. It's a Wonderful Life. White Christmas.
White Christmas. Yes, that's with what's his name? Is that Bing Crosby?
Bing Crosby. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It's another one that I'll like to watch. But it's just something, and I don't know if it's just because it seems like people become nicer as you get closer to sort of the holiday season. Like, and holiday season, kicks off even with just like Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween fan. Right. Never have been, but but it still gets you in like this sort of like we've entered the holiday season. Yes. Right? We have Halloween. In the US, you have Thanksgiving. Some people celebrate it, others don't. In my household, we use it as a day to just give thanks to God for keeping us well and in doing that. So we really do it as a day of Thanksgiving. Then you got Christmas, and you have other things. But then you also, like, for me, like, Christmas is even extended into January, because then we have Dia de los Reyes, which is in the honor of Three Kings Day, which I think there's like a variation of it in like New Orleans or like Louisiana, I think is another, from that. So it was just kind of get extended. Obviously, then you get your Hallmark holiday, which is Valentine's Day.
See, now you can watch Hallmark all year. I have another friend that can watch it all year too. I can't. I only watch, literally only watch Hallmark. I think, like, I don't know at what point. I'm sure you do, when they actually start showing the old Christmas movies, and then like the new ones premiere. What, like around Thanksgiving?
October is when they start.
Okay, so October is the new ones, right? The new ones are October, but I feel like they have the old ones playing before then, right? Doesn't it?
They start like early October. They'll start kind of
Okay.
playing them, because what ends up happening, they'll start playing them like almost a 24/7 kind of thing.
Yes, I love.
Oh my gosh. Like right now, like in July, they have them playing like at some point during the day until the evening, and things like that. But there's just something about that whole season, and it really starts in September.
Yes.
I think that's when it really kind of starts. So you go from September to almost like end of January, where you have this like holiday season feeling and things like that, and then starts the countdown to summer, which
I don't know.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, people here in Chicago look forward to summer so much, because we've been in this deep freeze, we've been like all these things, and I don't.
Now I do like spring. I will say, now spring is cute, because I will say
the real spring, like not the spring that we sometimes get here in Chicago, where it's like a couple days
snow and shit. Yeah, no. I'm with you on that. I do like the real spring, and if I had my choice to do the seasons, summer would be gone. Most of the year would be autumn, then probably spring, and do have some winter, because my birthday is in the wintertime. So I actually do love winter. Is not always like I'm not so anti-winter, and I think it is because I'm a winter baby. And I think you might love autumn so much because you're so close to autumn. And so I've also heard people that are born in summer, they love summer and like so forth. But I do love like the beginning of a real spring, because generally here in Chicago, although this year we had a very mild winter. We probably had like one or two really cold snaps. We didn't get much snow at all.
No, we didn't.
Generally people are ready for spring to happen, because we have been in our big thick coats and the big shoes and face completely covered. Like, we're generally ready for spring. Even us too. We're like, it's nice to be able to get rid of the layers, wear your little cute, your little cute dresses and sandals and all that. But after that, when it starts getting hot,
once it starts nearing that 80-degree mark,
we skip that.
80 and above, gone.
We gotta go. And
I'm at home. Don't invite me. I'm not going to no patio. I'm not.
I'll do it, because I will say, I'm sure it's the same for you. Like most of our friends, family, people love summer.
Okay,
so they do. And so I do go out. I'll go out. But I don't want to be out at like noon with the sun beating down on me. It's 93 degrees. That's not cute. Like unless
we're going to an early breakfast somewhere, or maybe brunch.
Early breakfast.
Or it has to be something after the sun has kind of gone down. Like right now, the sun doesn't go down to like really going down about maybe 6.
Yes.
Where you feel like you're like, okay, there's some relief from the sun, and you can be outdoors, kind of okay, or in a patio. But see, I don't want to be in a patio. I want to be in a patio where like it's not entirely outside. It's sort of, you're still kind of feeling that AC from the place inside. I'm very picky. I think that's why my friends know not to invite me.
I mean, I always like to be invited. I may not always be able to go, but I do like to be invited. I think we all like to be considered. But yes, that's true. True. That's very true about you. but it's also true about me too, in a sense, because like I like a patio, but I love air conditioning even more. So I don't have to sit out in no patio. Like I don't have to go out in the rooftops, and like some of this may be because as I've gotten older, all this little stuff I thought was cute and fun when I was younger, I've been there, done that. Put me in a restaurant with some air conditioning, and I can hang out all day. Let's hang out. Let's just chat. Let's talk. Let's catch up. Let's have a little party. But you want me outside in the sun, honey? I'm gonna have to do that in increments, or we're gonna have to have that early, or like you said, after the sun go down. Because I mean, God bless these people that be going to festivals and stuff. here in Chicago during the blazing heat. And this comes somebody, I come from Mississippi. I know what heat and humidity is. Now, granted, it doesn't always get that humid here. It's Mississippi, but Chicago's, it's not cold in the summertime. So, but people love it. They just love it.
They really do. And like, I mean, I understand it, right? Like, especially if you're not a winter person or, you don't love the layers that come with, colder or even cooler temperatures. Again, like I said, like people at, that know me or, coworkers or things like that, they already know. Me in summer.
Like your coworkers know too.
They know that I'm coming because they'll ask those introduction questions you gotta answer, those icebreakers and like your favorite whatever, or they'll ask like, what are you looking forward to doing in the summer? And I'd be like, nothing. And I always say we can skip summer.
And people, I bet
we can skip summer. I was like, we can skip it, we can get to the fall. It gets me closer to the holiday season. Christmas is right around the corner. I'm like, I enjoy it. Like, look, I have my little decoration. I'm here.
I know. I was so excited.
I have this upstairs, just there. But it's just, there's just, again, something about it. And in this household, in our household, Christmas becomes this opportunity for the house to just become this whole other world and sort of just, like my mom loves to decorate.
Your mom decks it out. Her trees are all, her tree's always on point.
If I can figure out how to like put a picture up as on this video, I'll do that in this little section.
Yes, and the trees are, and it's not overly done. It's just right. Like the trees, like the way she decorates is beautiful. Really is.
I think part of like that for me, I mean, that's why probably I love Christmas so much, because it just, our house gets transformed, and like, there's the joy of just like decorating, and even the midst of like getting all of the decorations out, and even leading up to it, because my mom and I were talking about like, what's gonna be the color scheme, what's gonna, what are we gonna do, like, are there things that maybe we need to buy, and and see like, oh, what's new, and but yeah, I mean, the tree hasn't been the same, decorated the same over the last, oh my gosh, 10 years, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think it hasn't been the same. Like it used to be, like when we were younger, where it was just decorated, same lights and things like that. Maybe like a couple things changes here, but every year it's been something different. And I think that also contributes to the fact that how much I love it, because I always look forward to
like what the color. Because did your mom do red last year or pink? Am I thinking about something else?
Let me see if I can find it on my phone.
Okay, because I'm just remember seeing like reddish colors.
I think it was red, but something
like that.
Let me find it for you. But yeah, it just becomes, and it's funny because she forgets like what sometimes people forget like what color we said we were gonna do it, and then we're like, we had bought some things and then we forget that we had those things, and we find them like after the fact, after we were decorating, we're like, oh my god, we were gonna do this color, and go with something else. So my mom's decoration.
Yeah, your mom. I love that she goes all out. I'm similar, I think, with growing up with decorating. That was always a thing with my parents as well. And we would decorate. Gosh, we might used to have.
It is kind of a red.
Okay.
Doesn't really do justice for it, but yeah.
Well, it doesn't do justice, but I was like, I think I remember that red.
Yeah, there's like a red with like
is that gold?
Gold and like some white thrown in there. And the things like, even just like colors and things that I just wouldn't think of, like her eye for decoration and putting that is on point. I have to make sure that I take notes. That's why I take so many pictures, because I can always just reference back. I don't know if I have the creativity to like come up with it.
You're gonna, one day, either you or your sister, somebody gonna, y'all gonna have to step up. Somebody gonna have to continue the tradition of decorating this tree, because your mom, it's really beautiful. She's always up on like the trends. She's always.
My mom's favorite thing to do when I'm watching the Christmas movies is look at how the homes are decorated. Like she'll like, did you see that decoration, or did you see? I was like, no, because I'm watching obviously
You're watching the movie, right?
My mom's watching the decorations in the back for the tree. But once in a while, like it'll like cross me. I'm like, oh, Mom, did you see that tree? And she's like, oh, no, I wasn't paying attention. And then I'm over here rewinding so she can see the tree and get inspiration. So I mean, those are just the things that really just make the holiday season. And even like, we're not big on decorating during the fall because it's like, yeah, we'll put things here and there, but it's really like uh end of October starts rolling around and my mom's starting to put Christmas stuff up.
She ready.
I mean, early November is when we'll really start kind of busting things out. And usually I think last year the Christmas tree was up towards like the end of November, I think.
Girl, mine was too. See, mine was too. I love my old roommate. And I don't know if they watched this or not, but my old roommate, I remember, they know how much I love the holidays and love decorating for Christmas. And they would just let me do it. They're like, listen, this is your thing. Go ahead, girl. And I remember one thing, kind of always the rule they had is that you cannot have this tree up before Thanksgiving. Okay. Now, last year, as I probably mentioned on here, is my first, I moved into a new place. And I had that tree up lickety split. It was up before Thanksgiving. I
remember.
I was just so freaking excited. And again, last year, really, because it's my own space, I decorated for the first time, really for autumn. I'd never really decorated for autumn. This wasn't really my thing, but I got into it last year and had like a beautiful wreath that a friend made for me. It was gorgeous. I had the doormat, the pumpkins. I really did get into it. And now I find myself organized because I got me some bins. I got me a bin that's like autumn decor and I got Christmas decor. And I just feel I feel such an adult by having everything in its own box and everything labeled. But I decorate for both. Now I will start to transition out of the autumn into, I have some actually like winter decorations too, which I think people don't really talk about. Winter decoration. I think people talk about Christmas, but there are also winter decorations that I incorporated last year too. And some of them had a Christmas theme. But I'm with you when you say like this time of year is just they seem happier. And again, like I know everyone's not big on the holidays. It brings back memories, different memories for different people. But for the most part, the way I have experienced it is that people are just so much more kind and happier that time of year. And even in a big city like Chicago, people, it's a different vibe. And for me, again, that's just like, it's perfect because I'm gonna be happy regardless. I don't matter. I'm enjoying the holiday. I remember it was COVID. We had a few Christmases in COVID. I was like, COVID's not ruining my holiday. COVID's not ruining my holiday. And I was just like, it's just like another Christmas, even though none of us could leave our homes. But that was okay, because I'm also an introvert, so that didn't really matter to me. But anyway, I digress. You talked about like your family, and I was saying earlier, like growing up in Mississippi, we got cool little cold snaps, and I would like always be so excited. I'd be like, oh, it's like 50 degrees today. 50, and it's so funny when my mama come up here, she's like, oh, you ain't gonna have no jacket? Mom, it's like 55 degrees outside. She's like, well, that's cold to me. She's like, you done been up here in the north too long. You done been up here too long. That's not cold. But it was a family affair to decorate. We usually like at home would decorate our living room space. Like decorate outside as well. And it was a thing. We have movies on in the background and like drinking cocoa, whatever we had. And it's always just been a part of my family in general, which I always knew I, of course, going to continue celebrating it because, like I say, it's just something about that time of year. Like I say, people are different. The vibes are different. It's just like people are more charitable, obviously, because it's the holiday season. But also I'm with you. Where like I can go either way with Halloween. I have friends of mine who love Halloween. But I can go either way. Now, I will say Halloween does kick off the holiday season. Now, to me, I think that's like officially, like Halloween kicks off the holiday season. And I do like the 31 Days of Halloween that is on AMC. And so people can know about me. I do not have cable. I know most people don't. I don't have cable because we all have streaming services. That is the one time a year between October and January 1st, I will have cable in my home. I'm going to have somebody, Sling, YouTube TV. I'm going to have somebody because I'm not missing my 31 Days of Halloween. I'm also not missing these Hallmark movies that I don't really know what's happening besides the same old thing. It don't matter. And that is so funny because that is the one time of the year I will have cable for those 3 months. I have to have cable for those 3 months.
Oh my God, 100%. I mean, that's the only reason why I even keep the cable streaming, because I do like a Sling or like one of those.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I keep it, so I could be watching.
So you can watch movies. Yeah, like that's
it's really just like what's the Hallmark Channel, Lifetime during Christmas, like
that Lifetime. Oh God, Lifetime.
But other than that, I don't really. You'll just catch me on like Netflix or something the rest of the time.
Yeah, like because you know, like you said, a lot of the streaming services now really gotten more into holidays because again, so many people that's how they're consuming content nowadays. You know, everybody is, you know, that's how they're consuming it. One thing, you know, that came out, this is not Christmas. You know what? I'm gonna save this for when we do another episode. So I'm not, because we're gonna do something else. We're gonna do something else coming up. So
I'm gonna do something else. So
I ain't gonna mention that. Mention that
topic. Just remember whatever you're gonna mention.
I remember shit. I hope I do. I don't know. I might, but I was like, oh, I won't talk about that. Nobody won't talk about it.
We know we forget.
I do. I will forget. I will forget. I'm just trying to think. You know, like what else? What else is like? It's just so much.
Why you think, Mana?
Oh, that's right. I forgot she got the Christmas ones too.
I remember I saw the ring. I was like, let me put these on for a little bit.
You're supposed to change halfway. Put the other. Well, you know what? Do you bake during the holiday time? I find myself baking, or I try to bake, because I know you're not. You'll admit you're not like you don't like to cook, but you. Like
baking. I love to bake.
Right. Okay.
Baking. Yes. I think because and go on a little bit of a tangent. I prefer baking over cooking because baking tends to be more exact. Like it's definitely like you have to measure and all like this because you can, you know, if you put too much flour or too much something, then like all sticks. But cooking is much. I mean, it's guesstimating half the time.
See, and I think that's the thing I do like about cooking.
Because I'm just like no, like I need the structure of what baking is. Mm-mm. Like I need the like I know like that I have half a cup of this, a fourth a cup of this. Like I think that's like my favorite part is measuring stuff. It's just kind of like like measure and like.
That's the Virgo in you. That is, and the Capricorn in me should like that. I mean, I do love structure, but that's actually the least favorite thing I like about baking. I don't like how exact it is. I like being able to come up with different stuff and create different things, which you know, of course, you can with baking. But like you said, baking is so precise. You have to get the measurements, and when you're substituting things out, you have to know.
You have to know,
and how much of that to substitute. So it's very different. But
that's why cooking is not my thing.
Wait, so what are you gonna bake for this holiday? What you gonna bake for us?
You know, one of my favorite things to make, I love this. There's this white chocolate cheesecake that has a pecan graham crust. Or pecan. Because I said pecan.
Pecan. Do you know they have some Southerners that say pecan? I think they say that in Georgia. We're gonna have to have a talk, Georgia. I think because I'm like in Mississippi, we say, "Girl, that's a pecan pie. That's pecan."
Pecan. I forget. I'm in the presence of someone from Mississippi who corrects me anytime I say pecan.
I'll let it go.
These Northerners.
But that does sound because I remember you mentioning that. Because isn't that a Martha Stewart recipe? Because there was a Martha Stewart recipe or something.
Was it a Martha Stewart? No, actually, it was not a Martha Stewart recipe. This came from Kraft Foods.
Oh, okay. Look at you, Kraft. Okay, I guess they're not a billion.
Years ago, I went through a phase of like anything baking. I had all the magazines and all these things, which I recently had to just, part ways with because they were just taking too much space and I wasn't even looking at them anymore. But craft, I had that. They also had a choco flan recipe, which to this day is what I use to make the choco flan is the Kraft Foods recipe.
That sounds delicious.
Because it's easier than like the
regular
actual recipe. And I love to bake, but I also love easier over complicated long recipes. So Kraft Foods had some, and they still do. Like you go to Kraft Foods, they still have some really good recipes out there if you're looking for quick and easy.
They do. I will say that because I'll be looking sometimes for those 3 ingredients, less than 5. Less than. I work a full-time job. Sometimes it's lovely. I have a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who's a wonderful cook. And I was invited she had a Galentine's earlier this year. She went all out. I mean, that's what she does to do, and she's great at it. She's great at hosting, and she loves to cook, and she just really loves to like nourish her friends. And so I ain't at that skill. I mean, I'm not at that level. And I'm okay if I'm never not. That's okay because I got her. She likes to do stuff like that. That's she do. But that's why I look for those 5 ingredients and less. That's great. And the thing is, I do like to cook because long ago, when I was in high school, I wanted to go to culinary school. I wanted to be a chef.
Oh, look at you.
I really did. And I got accepted into a culinary school on the East Coast. Obviously the path changed. But I did. Like I grew up watching my father cook, watching my grandmother cook, old people, man, they know how to, that's you talk about not having measurements for stuff. They just throw it in there, mix it up, and
want my mama.
Right, like that's it. Like that's what we grew up with. Like, what do you? Measurements don't exist.
How much do you put in? Oh, just like, so I've started to record my mom when she's cooking because otherwise I'll never know. That I'm like, I'll record you, and I'm recording and she's just throwing in stuff. I'm like,
what is this? How much are you putting it in?
And she's just throwing. I was like, that's how, I'm like, we're just gonna have to figure out. But I do have a mission. There are certain dishes of hers that I am on a mission to learn in the fall because it's too hot to be cooking. My mama doesn't like to cook in the summer because it's just too hot. Even with AC on, the home gets warm and it's like, so we don't do a lot of cooking in the summer. But I told myself this is the year I'm going to learn at least 2 things.
Okay, 2 is the start. Okay, we can work with that. But again, another reason not to like summer. You don't want to have a hot kitchen in the summertime. You're gonna suffocate in your kitchen, and who wants that? Nobody wants that. But I digress.
We went on this.
We went that way. But so that way you always say, how it is. Older people in our families, they just throwing in there, and that's and maybe that's why I like to cook, like to cook, and why I wanted to go to culinary school. But I did. I really love cooking. And one day, when I'm not trying to grow and trying to think how to be, when I'm not worried about being financially secure. There we go. And I can get back to the passion of really, really getting into cooking because I did once upon a time. I really did. I enjoyed it, and I tell some people that they're like, "Really?" I know you shocked, right? I know it's fine, it's okay. You shocked. But back to baking. I have a whole bunch of shit saved on Pinterest. Like I'm gonna be over here baking it. I might, but then, girl, at the end of the day, I might just take the little elf cookies. And the little elf sugar cookies. That might just be it. But I have a whole bunch of stuff saved that I would like to try and make this year. Yeah.
I have a list on TikTok of videos that I kind of collection of.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
It's labeled baking. So anything that I see that I'm like, oh, maybe there's a bunch of them on there, which I haven't quite got into. But there's something I love to bake. I used to bake a lot more back in the day. I think I started to bake when I was in high school. was really when I first got into baking. And now, and for a while it was just like Christmas, birthdays, anything. Like winter time was when I baked. Summer
No.
was not baking anything in the summer.
No.
But I think that's why I also love like fall and like winter, because that's usually the time where I can actually start baking stuff and enjoying it. Because that's usually when I'll start thinking of like, maybe I'll bake this. There's a cookie recipe that I love to make every year. And they're called the Mexican wedding cookies.
Yes, I love this. They're so good. Yes.
Oh, favorite thing to make, super easy to make too, which is you just put the recipe I follow is one that you just put everything into a food processor and everything just gets blended in there.
The ingredients, isn't it? Is it?
It's pecans. It's made with pecans. That's the base of it. But it's just, there's something about baking. I also too thought about maybe becoming like a pastry chef or doing something, but that's how much I loved it. And then obviously went a whole different route. That's a whole other conversation about how we get socialized to go to a 4-year college. But,
you and I could have met in a different capacity. I could have been a chef. You could have been a pastry chef.
Yes. I would have been your pastry chef at your restaurant.
Yes, you would have been my pastry chef. Girl. So we would have met either way.
Our paths would have crossed somehow. But I remember when I got like my first real job, I would say, I looked into just taking some like pastry classes. There's a couple of schools out here that just provide like, a month-long class so you can learn how to, either decorate or learn about bread making or things like that. I just haven't gotten to your point of like feeling financially secure enough to be able to, splurge on that, because it's not cheap to take,
especially in this economy,
to take some of those classes. So I definitely do. But yeah, I think again, fall, winter, holiday season to me is associated with baking. I think that also brings me a lot of joy.
Associated with food, but I guess some people could argue the whole calendar year associated with food, but I think really of like October to December, especially Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm anti-Thanksgiving now. I did grow up celebrating Thanksgiving because in my home when I grew up, it was a big thing. Like we were given and my aunt would cook or my grandmother would cook. We all go to my grandma's house for Thanksgiving and hang out. It was a big family thing. And then Halloween, obviously candy and baked goods. And definitely I think the Christmas time as well. And speaking of, I think you might have sent me this recipe on TikTok. And looking at your glasses reminded me.
Oh yeah,
it's a Christmas tree.
It's like a brownie. Yep.
Yes. Oh my, it looks so good. And oh my God, has the little candy cane.
Yes. As the
candy cane thing that she's put in it to hold it, I guess. Yeah. And the way it was, that's what it reminded me of. Now that recipe looks so good. I mean, I love brownies anyway, obviously. But I was like, now that one I saved that one.
Yes, that was one of the ones that is in my collection of baking.
Because it just looked, and that's like, it reminded me of Christmas so bad. I was like, I can't wait.
It was the way they decorated it. It was like almost like this, where like you had it was just
that's what reminded me. Yes.
And clearly our TikToks are starting to realize that Christmas in July is for us. Content is for us.
So much of it come up on now, and I love it.
Like every time somebody comes out, I always end up pouring it.
Me too. I've been sending you. I know, because I was sending you some autumn stuff too. Now, just like every time I open my TikTok, it's some autumn, then it's now it's kind of getting into Christmas as well.
I love when it tells me how many days are left for Christmas.
I know. And you're talking about baking. I was just thinking, like, it's nothing. I feel like this idea I have in my head of baking, like it's a nice crisp day and you have the window open and you just, baking and like, it's just nice and crisp outside and you just like baking some cookies or baking a pie.
Yes. See, and again, if you try to do that in the summer,
So
you can't make it's not enjoyable.
it's really not enjoyable. It's not. And this heat is real. It's real
Yeah.
out here. And this humidity is even realer. Um, Girl, I'm trying to think. What else can I say about Christmas that I have not already said?
I don't know. Maybe we're at that natural point of our conversation.
Maybe so. I will say I probably will be buying some shit from Etsy. Again, that's where I got this sweatshirt from. And I got a Hocus Pocus sweatshirt. I was like, I know I had a Halloween one, but I've been Etsy because some of the TikToks I've been looking at has already like autumn stuff already up,
Oh, yeah.
obviously. And there's some cute stuff out there. I'm like, see, now this is the devil. Y'all trying to take my money, my hard-earned little coins.
No coin.
Little
Bye
coins.
bye.
It's gonna be bye-bye because some of this stuff is really cute. I'm like, and maybe I can get it now before it gets sold out and everybody else start buying it.
That's true.
So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm at with my Christmas in July. That's where it is.
Yes. As you know, I think you guys listening and watching have probably deduced we love Christmas. We love the holidays. Christmas in July. To me, July just kicks off that countdown.
It does.
Like,
that's it. It kicks that. It kicks the kick. I said kick. It starts the countdown. You see, I got so excited. It starts the countdown, and that's to me. That's a big part of the holidays too. Is that I love the anticipation.
yes.
The anticipation because now we're close. Next month we're going to be closer. And then it's fall. And that's to me is such, I love the countdown. And like, because you're like, Christmas is great. We honoring God and all. Happy birthday. Thank you for being here. But Christmas Day, it's fine. It's fine. But that build up, that build up, that's what it's about. That's what I love. And that again, last year I was so excited about that because I had my own space and could do what I want. And boy, I went hard. I think this is the time last year I started watching some of my YouTubers and they were starting to like look for decor.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Because I was like, I'm sad. I want it to be autumn. And I was like looking for decor. And I was like, my people. I found my people. And I was like, yes.
They were out there.
Yes, they're in Hobby Lobby in July. That's my people. That's my people.
Yeah, I think like for me, like the countdown, the anticipation, definitely the sort of spiritual side of Christmas is definitely big in our household, and I think that contributes to it, just the kind of celebration of it. And you've been watching and know us, like definitely talk about being a Christian and just that role. So I think that all just kind of ties it all in, and it's just that remembering of that, and just the 'tis the season and all of that. It just all culminates, and I think we get to that Christmas Day. And I love Christmas Day. I love just being at home. I mean, having the gifts open. We're still kind of gift giving family and all of that. Just love that I could just be in my pajamas all day.
Well, from that aspect, yes, I do like, because we don't do much Christmas Day. We
never, like for us, Christmas Eve is really the big day. Like, Christmas Eve is the day where you have the dinner, all of that, and Christmas Day is just that day where you just get to relax. And
we just chill. Like that's become a thing more so in my family since my grandmother was sick, and when she passed away, and my aunt, who was the big one, she would go all out. And when she passed away, things kind of changed. And so, but we did, like, Christmas Day was not a calm day. We would all be at my grandma's house. And now it was used to be a very, very packed day. But now, just since like the family's gotten smaller, it's just so much more chill, which actually I really like. Like you said, we watch movies together. We eating food that's high in sugar, and we're in our pajamas, and that is, so that's actual Christmas Day. And so from that standpoint, I do love actual Christmas Day. It's great. But I would love to hear people watching and listening.
Yes.
Just as obsessed as we are with Christmas, are you not? If so, what is your favorite holiday? Do you have a favorite holiday? What is
favorite
that?
Season? What's your favorite
season? Yes. Do we have people that also like autumn like us? And who does not like summer? Yeah. Comment. Let us know that too.
Let us know if you're also ready for summer to be gone and the cooler temperature to come back. And before we go, like that first day where it gets to just the high of like 60 something, that first, and then it just stays that way for a while. And then it just starts going to 50s and, like.
You have your window open.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. That window, having that first window opening as it started to get cooler throughout. Oh my God. Yes.
Beautiful breeze coming.
Breeze coming in. You're absolutely right. Oh my God. Now I want even more.
Like, I know people were complaining because I think a couple of weeks we got to a point where it was like 60 something the high, and people were like, I can't believe this. I was enjoying that day.
I did, yeah. I loved it. I mean, I was very happy. I mean, very sad to be in the 80s and up. Like today, I told you, it looked like it was 90 degrees outside here. I thank God I'm not outside in this sweatshirt. I would faint. You would faint.
Yes, you would. You would faint.
But I'm with you when it was the little cool down. Oh, that was nice.
It was beautiful.
It was really nice.
Well, on that note, thank you for listening, for going on this wonderful conversation and joyful kind of ride of what is Christmas in July, the countdown that it kicks off for Martina and I, and plenty of other people out there who are like ready for the holiday season to kick off and for the fall to just come and everything that kind of leads to it and all the beautiful cute outfits you end up wearing and the layers you get to put on and all of that wonderful stuff from that point of view. So thank you. But as Martina mentioned, if you have any thoughts, comments around it, whether you agree or disagree with us on our take of summer. I know a lot of people don't agree with our take for summer, but yeah, let us know. And, we'll be back with some more updates or more other topics that hopefully will be fun for the next couple of episodes as well. And as always, we will be coming back to our serious conversations and things that you know us for. But we wanted to bring a little lightheartedness into this summer as we're counting down the end of summer for us. We're ready.
I know. Like, get out the way.
Go away.
Oh.
Well, thank you for taking the time to listen, to watch, and we look forward to talking to you next time.
Yeah. Bye.